this beautiful little pool. It's a shallow pool, less than a foot deep now as it's silted up, but this is at the entrance of the old Warsop Main pit top site at Warsop Vale. It's a cracking area for dragonflies, and I've popped here today to see whether Willow Emerald damselfly has already colonised this site. I suspect it has, but there's a good range of other species to look for today, but it's just a lovely site to pop in and visit. As you can see, this really is a beautiful spot. But over the years, it has suffered as well. Suffered from littering. In fact, if you could see what I'm looking at beneath my feet, you'll understand why, because this area of water has been illegally fished for a number of years, and there's lots of litter associated with those who've been doing the fishing. Now, the fishing has been done by both young and old, and by multi-nationalities, shall we say. There used to be a lot of big carp in here. It used to be a bit deeper, but because of the drought that we've had this year, the water level has gone down. But over the years, the number of carp has diminished because, quite frankly, they've been eaten. Getting a bit closer, because within minutes, as I expected, there's Willow Emerald damselfly on here, and I think it's a male from what I've seen. It's using this as a staging post and then making darting flights off to intercept any interlopers or strangers that happen to approach. It keeps coming back to these. In fact, it's just settled on this sedge that's down here now. Willow Emerald damselfly is doing really well in Nottinghamshire, and you'll find it pretty much wherever the habitat is like this, suitable, where there's sallows, like especially Salix caprea, that is overhanging or very close to the water's edge. See if we can film it. Shame you can't see this because there's a grass snake just swum across at the far end. You might just be able to see a lighter bit of shoreline, but a grass snake has gone across. Just see its head poking out to the water at an angle. But you may well be able to glimpse quite a few of the species that are flying around. There's lots of common blue damselflies, small red-eyed damselflies low to the water near the bank here. That snake's coming across. It's now coming in, it's in front. It's in the middle of the pool, but in front. And now to the left of where that shiny bit of bank is, it's heading this way in the water. It is heading towards us. This might be the worst bit of footage you ever see, but it is coming straight for the camera. The grass snake is just behind the top of the yuncas, still coming this way. It's not a particularly large individual. It's approaching the bank now. It's come right from the far side. It may well continue to come down this side. I would like it to. But I think it's here, right in front. Just swimming back out, look. Good grief. It stopped because it's seen me. It's hard for me to tell you where it is, but it has stopped motionless. It's bang centre of the screen, if you can see the reflection of a small clump of silver birches. It is just below there. There it goes. It's moving, look. It's been a few years since I've seen grass snake here. And off it goes. I know the footage is poor. I've only got a cheap phone camera, but that's not the point. That's the first time that I've seen grass snake actually sort of voluntarily swimming across open water. I've had one over the other side. In fact, it was two that are disturbed. One went away from the water and one came straight into it. Our friend the grass snake is working its way towards me. It's coming right along by the bank, and hopefully it will pass under the camera. It is 10 feet to my left, so I'm going to shut up for a minute. Keep your eye in the water. Good grief, it's 6 feet from me. Wow. Going on size at some hail. It's still at the moment. Still in the water. There's two stems of a yuncus. One goes straight and the other one bends off to the right. It's at the base of them, just sat in the water. It's looking at me and I'm looking at it. I don't want to move, and I just hope, off it goes, that I've got it on screen. must have stopped again. One of this Juncus that's overhanging the water. Now it's just starting to go away, look. That's the best view, the most prolonged view I've ever had of grass snakes. All my views of grass snakes have come over the large site that is or was the former Warsop Main Colliery site. That's just one of those fabulous wildlife moments. I nearly didn't come here. I thought I'd just pop here, see if I can find something to film. I say, don't expect Springwatch footage on this channel because you won't get it. I haven't got the equipment to be able to film that kind. Oh, it's coming back, it's coming back. It is curled, almost, head out of the water. The rest of the snake is below water. Its head is just slightly bobbing. And once again, it's looking at me. It's now totally submerged. And it's going, I think it's gone off outwards. This water's got incredibly shallow now, although it's obviously really silty. It's little more than 6 inches deep, and that's just out here, which is about the deepest. I wouldn't like to walk it, and obviously there's a couple of larger fish still in here because one's just come up over there, and I've had one over there, but one time of day you could drop in here at the right time of year and the large carp would be spawning. Not so many now. In fact, I don't think there's any of the larger carp. But we know there's a snake. We know there's one grass snake in here amongst all the dragonflies and damselflies that are here. But when you come to visit this part of Warsop Main Pit Top this time of year, any time sort of second half of August, as you walk around this edge, you're accompanied by the most magnificent minty scent. And that's because all of this side, in amongst all the Juncus and sedges, there's loads of water mint. It's a fabulous plant for nectar. Flies swarm to it in the thousands, and they are doing here. Occasionally you can get something much rarer as well tucked in amongst them. And although they're just starting to go over now, if you trample the leaves underfoot or the stems underfoot, you get that lovely fragrance of mint. Water mint's a great plant if you have a small pond, or even if you bury a bucket, a water-filled bucket in the garden, fill it with soil. You can plant water mint. Gives you some nice nectar-bearing flowers, great for the insects and other invertebrates. Plus, you get the scent of the mint, and it's a different kind of minty smell to your normal garden mint, but it's still lovely. Well, let's hope that this pool doesn't dry out anymore. I don't think it will do, because I think rain's forecasted towards the end of the coming week. It's certainly incredibly shallow though, but it's great for dragonflies here, and if you live in the Market Warsop area or the Sharbrook area, this is a great place to pop into if you want to see a decent range of common dragonflies. In Nottinghamshire we don't really have any of the sort of really rare species, but either way they're all impressive insects. The hawkers, which you may see dashing about at the back of us occasionally, are some of our most impressive invertebrates, and if you ever get the chance to see one close up, they are stunning things. Very well recorded though. Odonata, which is the order of dragonflies and damselflies, of course, because during the summer months when birdwatching tends to take a back seat, birdwatchers tend to look for something else to do, like to gawp at something else. So dragonflies have always been a typical birdwatcher's staple diet during the summer months, till migration starts to kick in and the greater chance of rarities start to appear in the late summer and autumn period. But there's still no doubt many sort of small waters and ponds that aren't covered, and you'll be surprised if you have a pond in your garden what species will turn up. Quite interesting this year, I had a brown hawker that came onto the yard at home. Well, I just live in a small terrace house and settled on the kitchen wall. First time that I can remember brown hawker. I don't have a pond anymore. When we did used to have a pond, we used to get the occasional dragonflies and damselflies. They're great invertebrates to attract into your garden and well worth trying to do. You just need some kind of permanent water source. It doesn't have to be a large water source. And invariably, at least one damselfly or one of the larger chasers or hawkers will turn up. Your chances of getting a grass snake like we've seen in here today though remain, I'm afraid, extremely slim.